Welcome to Platform Media International PMI Political Arena. The new style of politics in Nigeria is blackmail. Blackmail, all of you have heard it, that the former president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has been accused of being a Cameroonian. As I speak to you, the man is struggling to prove that he's a Nigerian. It didn't start today. It has been in part of the politicking. Perhaps some of you have heard that Buhari was also accused of being from Sudan. Obi inside the base in the studio today, and he's going to give you frank, concise, and brutal facts about the latest politicking in Nigeria. Obi, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe.
We missed you. It has been a while. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Obi, I know that you are frank but fair in assessing the political issues in Nigeria. Lately, the former president of Nigeria, former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, who contested in the recent election against the incumbent president, President Muhammadu Buhari, is struggling to prove that he's a Nigerian. Obi, how did we get here?
Well, I think it's unfortunate. Atiku Abubakar doesn't need to struggle to prove that he is a Nigerian. He is a Nigerian. There is no doubt about it. If Buhari's government and his legal team doesn't have any response to Atiku's petition, then they should keep quiet.
Obi, it's amazing that somebody who served as vice president of Nigeria for 8 solid years, and before then he was a director of Nigerian Customs, and because there's no limit to how politics is played in Nigeria. It could be blackmail. The last time we heard it's whistleblowers. What I'm saying is this, that anything that starts in Nigeria catches up like Hamatan fire. It's going to remain, and somebody who has been in that position in Nigeria, a sacred position in Nigeria, is struggling to prove himself. Perhaps I'll recount that Buhari also 2 years ago, a year ago, had to struggle to prove that he's alive. He was accused, and people believed that he is dead. This Buhari that we elected in 2015 is dead, that somebody else is standing in for him who is from Sudan. And the man had to come out to say he's not dead, that he's the real Buhari. And Atiku is now struggling to prove he's a Nigerian. Is it part of the politics? Is that part of the defense? Or people are just trying to be funny?
Well, a lot of things have gone wrong with our country. When I heard that allegation that Atiku is not a Nigerian, it took my mind back to the years when we had lawyers like Ganife Wamin, we had F.R.A. Williams, Rotimi Williams, and the issues the deliberated on before the courts of law were issues that stimulated interest, issues that were intelligent.
And legally proven in court, that makes sense.
Yes. These days, we don't have that caliber of lawyers, so we have lawyers that have recourse to petty issues of this nature. To suggest that Atiku is not a Nigerian has far more reaching implications than the petition before the election tribunal. If you say that Atiku is not a Nigerian, you are saying that everyone in Adamawa State are not Nigerians. So,
and perhaps some southeastern people from maybe Calabar and others.
Oh well. Let's take the instance of people from the former Adamawa State who voted in a referendum in 1961 to join Nigeria. So, if they were to go back to Cameroon and the people who voted from southern Nigeria to join Cameroons were to come back to Nigeria, where would that leave us? As a matter of fact, in my thinking, no one can solidly claim to be a Nigerian. People who come from the southeastern state claim they migrated to Nigeria from Israel. The people who come from the southwest claim to have come to Nigeria from the Middle East. There are similarities in the culture of TV people with the Zulus of South Africa. So if everyone were to go back to where they came from, what then will become of Nigeria? We know the Fulanis came from Futujalan, so no one can solidly claim that this Nigeria is his country. And so what needs to be done, we have a poor section of our constitution that defines what it means to be a Nigerian. And that section of the constitution needs to be reformed, widened, to recognize the fact that people had migrated. Some people came through a referendum, some people were born outside Nigeria and stuff like that. And become more expansive so that such issues never arises again. In 1980, we had Alhaji Sugaba, who was a charismatic politician from the GNPP, who was admired. One morning he was the Minister for Immigration, signed his deportation order. He was bundled into a Peugeot car and driven across the border and dumped there. He later came back, and the court awarded him about 350,000 naira in damages for wrongful deportation. But that should have laid it down that you don't accuse a Nigerian as being a foreigner. There should be a law against it, and this thing that is happening now is very, very embarrassing.
Obi, when I heard this story, I thought we shouldn't even talk about it. Are we giving the people who are raising this allegation credence by even discussing this? Because for me, it doesn't make sense at all that a Nigerian, you are accusing him of being a foreigner in this country. It's laughable. And like you said, that lawyers, perhaps they are the lawyers. But again, I remember that this issue started with what I call the leader of Biafra,
yes.
Nnamdi Kanu, started this thing. People said don't take him serious, part of that. But now government is saying it. How does that make sense to anybody who is listening? Because first of all, Nnamdi Kanu started it. People say don't take him serious. But government is now using that as an instrument to disqualify him in his petition, in his legal defense. So somebody that is leading what I would call a separatist group. Started, government is now holding fast to it. It doesn't make government serious. Now, the question I want to ask: who is benefiting from all this? Who do you think is benefiting?
No one in particular. We are just showing the world that we are not a serious nation, because government should legislate on information management. If a newspaper publishes a story that is patently untrue, then someone had to be held liable for that. Nnamdi Kanu was right to have made the proposition that he made. But if no media in Nigeria carried it, and media houses are supposed to be licensed
to tell the truth.
Yes, so if no media house was able to carry it, then that information will not be passed to the public. So government is not doing the job it ought to be doing.
I know that you cannot legislate against rumor mongering. So if somebody like Kanu started there and says it's a rumor, but when government makes it as a kind of government issue, when they are taken into the legal to the courts as part of their defense, it makes it very ridiculous.
Well, if I was Atiku, I wouldn't even respond to it. I would simply say that I was approved by INEC, which is the authorized government agency, to
conduct an election.
To conduct election, to approve those who. So if they have
given an all clear to
yes, so if they have given him the all clear, if you have an issues with my citizenship, you go to INEC, or unless you have to say that INEC is not qualified to do the job.
Do you feel Atiku should even respond to allegations like this? Because it's giving them credibility.
It's an allegation in court. He has to file a defense against it.
And lawyers are using that as part of defense?
Yeah, they will have to fit fat on that.
Does it make sense? Anyway, we're not lawyers, but again, part of somebody before I came into the studio is even telling me that lawyers are part of the problem in Nigeria. Do you agree?
Yes, they are. But again, the judge, like in civilized countries like Canada, judges will refer such contentious issues back to Parliament, so that Parliament would deliberate on it and make far-reaching decisions. That's what needs to be done.
It's laughable. It makes everything funny. It's like government is what I would call have gone to that pedestrian level to have raised issues like this. And well, all I can say is that I hope this comes to an end, because anything that starts in Nigeria, people catch up on the bandwagon, expressed like Hamilton. I remember that some years back, even Tinubu is the leader of APC. There's also an allegation that he's not from Lagos State, that is from Osun State, and even somebody said his name is actually not Tinubu, his name is Shogodule. That's an issue that has come up now. It will be maybe one time or the other, we'll be sent packing from Nigeria to say we're not Nigerians anymore.
Well, that doesn't happen.
Until that time comes, let's keep the discussion going. I want to thank you for coming to the program.
Thank you.
And we do appreciate you.
Thank you.
For Nigerians who are watching, we have to come to this to discuss this issue, because it's laughable, and I think government should not make it as an instrument of politicking by accusing a former vice president as being a foreigner. If there are laws to that effect, let's see it. But as far as we're concerned, it's a bogus law, and it's also part of the rumor mongering that is happening in the Nigerian political terrain. Thank you for watching. I keep asking you to tune into Platform Media International. Meet us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm yours sincerely, Joe Ehizode, signing off today and say have a night rest. Good night.